fam, welcome back to More Life with Courtney. I know it's been a long time since you've seen me. The last video you may have seen was me first finding out that I'm pregnant. So yes, you all now finally know that I'm pregnant. I first made my announcement on Instagram, and so I made a short on YouTube, and last week I posted my live pregnancy test. That test was back in July. Today is October, I ain't got my watch on, October 18th. Yeah, Tuesday, October 18th. And it's been a long time since I've actually recorded anything. I know in that video I said I was still gonna record, but I just wasn't gonna post anything for a while until it was safe to notify everyone or make an announcement. But during that time, I didn't record. So that's why this video is actually gonna be a first trimester recap. I faced a lot of up and down emotions when I first found out I was pregnant. Of course, you know, the video may have shown I was excited, which I was excited. Have always been excited, but I was also cautious and scared. Like, I'm not sure if you have been in this situation where you may have experienced a miscarriage or not, but I basically felt like it was first too good to be true, number one, and then two, I was scared to celebrate because anything could happen. But then I was also facing the issue of I felt like I wasn't grateful to God for this blessing because I wasn't as excited as I should have been. But it was just a lot of battling that I was going through at the time. I say I was depressed, but I don't know if it was a form of depression or not, but I just felt off. Like, Brandon was so excited. He has continuously been excited, but me, I just felt like, let me not get too excited until we go for the first sonogram, which was at 8 weeks. Today, I'm currently 15 weeks and 5 days. So I will be 16 weeks on Thursday, October 20th. And I'm looking at it on my phone if you all are wondering what I'm looking at. So, I don't know, like, I just was very cautious. I didn't go anywhere. I was very antisocial. I wasn't on social media. I really wasn't communicating with a lot of my family and friends. I think the only person I really was talking to was my sister and Tiana, who you all know from March Forever. And of course, I was talking to my husband because he was the one that was getting me through. But I just didn't find myself like calling friends, just sitting and talking on the phone and chit-chatting and stuff or whatever. Like, I just was focused on getting my mind right and understanding what was going on and finding that sense of happiness that I know I should have been feeling, but I don't know. I really can't explain the emotion that I was feeling, but all I can say is I was scared. I was just scared to be happy for this blessing because I just didn't want to set myself up for disappointment. So if you're not excited, then you can't be disappointed. That was my mentality. That was my mindset about it. But I'm not going to keep dwelling on that. As I said, I have gotten over it. I'm gonna give you all some information, like give you all like what was going on with me from when I first found out back in July all the way up until, I think I'm gonna say until 14 weeks, because that is what doctors typically say is the first trimester. It usually be 12 weeks, but now they're saying 14 weeks. So from when I first found out all the way until 14 weeks. So I made a list of some symptoms that I felt when I first found out. Now, I will say the reason why I was kind of apprehensive or even not even really knowing if I was pregnant was because the symptoms that I felt last year were much more extreme, and I experienced them faster than I did this time. I will say, like, last time I was experiencing like excruciating cramps for like 10 minutes a day, and I didn't feel it at all. So I just was like, well, maybe I'm not pregnant. This is before the test, of course. But then after I found out that I was pregnant, I still wasn't experiencing those type of cramps. So I don't know if there were a symptom or notification that something was wrong last year, and that is kind of what led to the miscarriage or not. I'm really not sure, but I know all pregnancies are not the same, so I'm gonna just put it on that. But as far as nausea, I know most people experience morning sickness, well, really day sickness, because it can happen any time of the day. It doesn't have to happen in the morning time. But I did experience nausea, but I never threw up. Like, I only really experienced nausea when I would go sometime without eating, or if I ate too much, I would feel nauseous, and it would be more so of like a just something just don't sit right on my stomach feeling. Like, that was the type of feeling I was feeling. And oh, I will say, laundry detergent made me feel really, really nauseous, and scented trash bags, and we still have some of those scented trash bags now, and they continuously get on my nerves. Like, I still to this day can't stand the smell of those scented trash bags. I can do laundry now, but those trash bags, I experienced and still am experiencing sore breasts, and they are no joke. And I'm kind of in a lose-lose situation with that, because I've realized that when I wear my bra and I take the bra off, my breasts are extremely sore. But then when I walk around the house without a bra on, the heaviness of my breasts hurt my back. So it's like I have to pick and choose which pain I want to deal with. Do I want to deal with not having my breasts being sore and take my bra off and then my back is hurting, or having the support of the bra but then the breasts are sore? So that's just something I'm dealing with and have been dealing with, but it is what it is. For the first maybe about 12 weeks, I definitely was experiencing fatigue. And at the time I was going to work more often, going into the building, and I had a lot of long days where I was not able to take naps. So by the time I come home and it's time to go, or it's time to eat and take a shower and get ready for the next day, like, I'm knocked out at like 6 or 7 o'clock on the sofa, and I be in deep, deep, deep sleep. Like, that type of sleep, y'all, I feel like I'm sleeping under the bed. But that fatigue is no joke. Like, you'll be, having a good day, but then like you're tired throughout, or you're having to push yourself throughout the day or whatever. Then when you get home and you were able to just sit down and chill, all of it just comes down on you. You just feel like a huge weight like laying on you, and you're just so tired. That fatigue was no joke. I actually just started getting a little bit more energy, maybe like within the last week or two. So they always say that the second trimester brings on, a lot of more energy. You get rid of some of those first trimester symptoms, and that definitely happened. But I will say that fatigue is no joke. So if you have the opportunity to take naps, make sure you do that. Those naps can definitely rejuvenate you throughout the day, so that way you won't feel like a huge crash at the end of the day, whatever the time may be that you may feel extra sleepy and you probably have a lot more things to do around the house. Around week 11, I started having like headaches and stuff. I don't know what caused it. I mean, I think I read something about how the extra blood that is now flowing through your veins or through your blood system or whatever, that kind of causes headaches, because now you're having to pump more blood to go towards the baby. So that could have been a reason, but it really wasn't. I think those headaches really only lasted about a week. They really weren't long lasting, I'll say that. But I did experience headaches around week 11. I experienced a lot of gas. So if you're around somebody, just tell them what's going on if you feel comfortable enough, and let them know that you just gotta say, excuse me, because the gas is coming, and that gas is no joke. It's gas like no other. So you beware, and tell those around you to beware, because the gas is gnarly. Some food aversions. Now you all, Brandon and I have not eaten any meat, I'll say since July of 2020, other than seafood. And so I guess you could say we're pescatarian, but I want to say, when I first found out I was pregnant, I just did not want to have anything that looked or sound like seafood boils. You all know the bags, the juicy crab situation. Like, you had the crab legs, the shrimp, the corn, the sausage, all the stuff with the juice and everything. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to see it. I still, to this day, I still don't even really want to eat a seafood boil. And Brandon has been eating them on the regular. It's like he took that craving, that want from me, and I don't want it at all. Like, it was to the point where he'll send me stuff on Instagram. I don't even want to look at the videos on Instagram. I don't want to hear about a seafood boil. Like, at one point in time, it was a point I would see him eating it and it would make my stomach turn. Like, I didn't even want to look at him eating the seafood boil. And I think it may have started because, like, the day before I found out I was pregnant, I had a seafood boil and it was making me feel sick. So now every time I think about it, it's like, I don't want no parts of it. But yeah, so seafood boils and crabs. Now I can still eat seafood. Like, I can eat like the fried shrimp. Like, I've been, like, for a while I was wanting Red Lobster. What else? I can eat like fried fish or baked fish. So I still can eat salmon. But when it comes to those seafood boils and like the whole blue crabs and stuff, no thank you. I don't want no parts. And I'm upset because I love seafood boils. I love crabs. But right now, I ain't feeling it. I don't want it. I don't even want to think about it. So I'm kind of dealing with that still right now. And I will say what bothered me the most, even more than nauseousness, excuse me, soreness, is constipation. That has been my worst symptom. And I think it's gotten even worse. Well, I don't know. I can't even say it's gotten worse during the second trimester, but it's kind of eased up. But for a while, it got to a point where I had to document every time I would have a bowel movement, because I'm usually regular. And then it got to a point where I'm like, I don't know when the last time I used the bathroom. So I had to like put it in my phone so that way I can remember and make sure there's not no issues or whatever. That way, if there were a long time span in between me being able to use the bathroom, I would be able to tell the doctor. So I was able to see my pattern. It went from being every day before being pregnant to every other day, I believe. And this just recently, I want to say last week, it got to a point where I was able to have a bowel movement 3 days in a row. And then I think the other day it might have been 2 days in a row. So when I went to the doctor the last time, they said I can take Metamucil, and Metamucil is nothing but fiber. So I could drink that. I haven't drank it yet because I haven't really had a terrible bout of constipation since my last doctor's appointment. But if you all are having issues with constipation, that is a solution. So those have been my symptoms for the past 14 weeks. I did I guess from after the second sonogram, I started documenting certain things that I noticed about myself. But let me rewind back. Let me not skip too far ahead. So basically, my first doctor's appointment was at 8 weeks, and this is with the new female doctor that I told you about in my miscarriage video last year. And we had our first sonogram. I'll pop up a picture of the first sonogram at 8 weeks, and me and Brandon were just so elated. it was just like an unreal situation, because as soon as the lady put the gel on and put the wand on my belly, we immediately saw the heartbeat flicker, and all I could say was, thank you, Jesus. Like, that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. And Brandon was so excited too. It was like, all right, we see a heartbeat. We ain't even got to hear it right now, but we see it. And it was just so funny because the whole time the lady that was doing it, she was like, the baby was moving around. We could see the baby. Like, I think at this time, let's see, I can't remember exactly how big the baby was, but it was really, really small at the time. And you could see the baby bouncing across in the uterus, moving real fast. And she was like, slow down, baby. I'm trying to catch your heartbeat and stuff. It was just so funny, but it was just a blessing. Like, that was like my first time with being able to just exhale and be like, okay, we've gotten over this first hurdle, and now it's just a marathon, and we're just gonna keep pushing forward. And we were just so excited and so just elated, like, and blessed. After 8 weeks, I had to schedule a blood test called the NIPT test, and that's basically a blood test where they check for chromosomal abnormalities like Down syndrome and trisomy 13 and a whole bunch of different numbers and stuff like that or whatever. But normally they recommend you to take that if you're 35 and older. I'm not 35 just yet, but I will be 35 by the time the baby is born. So it was just precautions. It's not really saying like if the test was positive, it's not saying that the baby has any chromosome abnormalities, but it just kind of shows if they have a high chance of having chromosomal abnormalities. Thank the Lord we didn't have any. However, that test also tells whether or not you are having a boy or a girl, because you know the gender is designated through chromosomes. If you have XY, it's a boy. If you have XX, it's a girl. So since they're checking for since they're checking the chromosomes, they're able to see the gender. And so I couldn't see that because we're gonna have a gender reveal, and I didn't want to see it, but I needed to know that everything was good. So what I did was, my sister's actually going to be the one who she is the keeper of knowledge for the gender reveal. So what I did was, I had her on FaceTime, shared my screen, logged into my portal, had her look at everything, and screenshot all the documents, blacked out anything that referred to anything about the gender, and then she sent it to me so that way I can just read through all the results of that particular test, and everything was perfect. So no issues with that. Along with that blood test, there is something called an NT, nuclear translucency test, or NT scan, I'm sorry. And that is done at between 13 and 15 weeks. The NIPT has to be done 9 weeks or more, and the NT scan has to be done between 13 and 15 weeks, I believe. And so that scan is another sonogram where they have to check and see. It's like a follow-up to the chromosomal blood test to see if there are any other characteristics of any type of abnormalities. They check to make sure that the baby has a nose bridge. They check to see the width, I think it's called a width, or the thickness of like some type of fluid behind the neck, like where the spinal cord is. So if it's thicker than usual, then that could signify that there are some type of chromosomal abnormalities, or higher risk of having some type of chromosomal abnormality. What else did they check? I believe they also checked and make sure that, you know, just, it's like a mini anatomy scan. So they did check the brain, bones, legs, arms, and everything. They probably would have shown me some information about the gender as well, but she kind of said it was still kind of early, because that was, like I said, I think that was at when did I do that? That was at 12 weeks and 4 days. I think, what did I say? I think you have to have that between, no, I'm sorry, you have to have the the NT scan more at 12 weeks or more. And I think I was 12 weeks and 4 days. So when they checked that everything was fine, and as a matter of fact, at that time, the baby was measuring 13 weeks. I had that test on a Monday, and I would have been 13 weeks on that, well, I was 13 weeks on that Thursday. And so the baby was measuring 13 weeks, 4 days prior to the actual 13-week mark. So at the time, we were having a big baby, or the baby was bigger than what the gestational age was. The baby was moving real fast during that time. I'll show you some video there from when that happened. I actually created a reel letting you all know that I was pregnant last week, and that included some of that NT scan sonogram. I believe that was it. That was my last appointment. That was on September 26th. That was my last appointment scheduled. I'm just looking through my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. When I first found out I was pregnant, I downloaded 3 apps that kind of keep me aware of what's going on with the baby, the size of the baby, what type of things are growing with the baby. And so I've been using Pregnancy Plus, What to Expect, and The Bump. And those 3 apps have been marvelous. Like they give you a lot of information about what's going on with the baby. They give you a lot of articles that give you more information that's not specific to the baby, give you information about yourself, about things to look forward to, health related articles. It's just a plethora of information. It also shows you like 3D visuals of what the baby looks like while it's inside your stomach. They also give you an idea of the size of the baby. Like they'll do comparison, like this week this baby is the size of a grape, this week the baby is the size of a tomato, or just different things like that. It just kind of makes it fun. It kind of takes the stressful part away from the pregnancy. So my favorite app for visual purposes is Pregnancy Plus, and it shows what the baby looks like. So let's see, right now it's showing I'm 15 weeks. I'll be 16 weeks on Thursday. So this is kind of an idea of what the baby looks like now in my stomach. It kind of gives you like an idea of the size of the baby. It says currently the baby is about 4.57 inches and weighs about 3.53 ounces. It's like a 3D thing. You can see if I can get closer. You can turn the baby around and see what the baby looks like. At this point, the baby's kind of getting a little bit of melanin, and you can kind of see hair growing right there as well. And then they give you some information about what's going on within this particular week. So right now it says the heartbeat is beating regularly on average at about 150 beats per minute. The bones inside your baby's body are hardening, and the tiny legs and arms are now completely formed. And even though your baby's eyes are still closed, they have the ability to sense changes in light through the eyelids. So those are the 3 updates that's going on at week 15. And this app also allows you to be able to tailor the look of your baby. So they have babies of different nationalities and complexions, and you can just choose which baby you want. And so of course the baby doesn't look like that immediately. It shows the different stages of the baby, and then once the baby gets bigger, then you'll be able to see the full appearance of the baby in this app. But as I said, these apps give you so many different articles. They allow you to be able to take pictures of yourself, of your belly, if that's what you choose to do. It just makes it a lot more fun, so that way you won't be focused on the stress of being pregnant and everything that comes with it. So those are some of the apps that I have been using. I'll list them down below in the description box. Some things that I've been taking, of course, are my prenatal vitamins. I got them from off of Amazon, so I will link them in my Amazon storefront. I actually have section in my Amazon storefront, and it's called, the name of my storefront, well, the name of the section in my storefront is called Mom Life. So I'll have the prenatal vitamins that I take. I also take fish oil pills, which gives the baby omega-3, and that is very beneficial for the brain development of the baby. And then as well as the prenatal vitamins and the fish oil pills, the doctor also suggested that I start taking low dose aspirin, and the low dose aspirin actually is supposed to help with preventing preeclampsia, and preeclampsia is having high blood pressure when you're pregnant. And I believe she kind of gave that to me, or told me to start taking it because of my age, my nationality, and my weight. I'm not fat, but I am overweight. So those 3 factors are like all things that kind of bring high blood pressure on for being pregnant. So that is a preventative method. So it's low dose aspirin, or they also call it baby aspirin. So those are the 3 things I've been taking so far. Like I said, I haven't really been dealing with the constipation that bad lately, so I haven't started taking any of the Metamucil just yet. But if I start dealing with it again, I'll definitely be incorporating that in my daily intake. I have a pregnancy journal that I started to write in. It took me a while to start writing in it, but after I found out I was pregnant, because like I said, I was scared. I didn't want to jinx myself. I did, because I started writing. I bought the same journal last year, started writing in it, and then things just went left. So it took me a while to feel good and feel confident about start writing about my experience and my journey with being pregnant when I first found out this time, because I just didn't want to be disappointed. I didn't want to feel sad. But I went ahead and bought the book, and I just said I'll just have it for whenever I'm ready. I started writing in it maybe, I think everything that started making me feel good was after the 8-week sonogram, when we were first able to hear the heartbeat. I hadn't told anybody. I think we only told our parents after that first sonogram, and I told my sister. But for a while I didn't tell anybody, but for like that first 8 weeks I didn't write in the book. I waited till after the 8-week sonogram, started writing in the book. I'm gonna go get it. I don't have it with me. I forgot it upstairs. By the way, pregnancy brain is real. If I find myself forgetting a lot of words I know I would be using on a regular basis, just give me one moment. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and I'm a little winded. Something else that you all need to understand is that, or that is the truth, is that the smallest little task will have you tired as I don't know what. All I did was go up the steps. I did not run. I walked extra slow, and I'm still sitting here breathing heavy. Like, what the heck? But anyways, this is the book. It's called Growing You. This is the book that I bought last year, and I bought it again this year. Basically, I just told myself I was not going to let that miscarriage steal my joy, my experience. I was going to be cautious, walk on eggshells with this experience, but I was not going to deprive myself of this experience. So, like I said, I just went ahead and got the book, and I'm glad I did. So, like I said, it's called Growing You. The first page, it says, the story of, since we don't know what we're having just yet, I'm not gonna put a name just yet. So, it has like different inspirational quotes in here. To the brave woman who journey, or I'm sorry, to the brave women who journey into motherhood, may your stories live on beyond this season of beautiful growth. This journal, it has 4 sections: a growth section, and you document your pregnancy month by month. It has a section for a birth story. Let me just show you all. I don't know if you can see. I'll just put it up right here. Birth story, what really happened on baby's birthday. easing into motherhood, the transition to the 4th trimester, which you all know is like the first 3 months after you have the baby, and then letters before, during, and after pregnancy. So the growth section, it has different pages in here. Team girl, team boy. You can write down who thinks you're gonna have a girl or who thinks you're gonna have a boy. Add friends and family to this page, include their name, and write why they think baby will be a girl or boy. You can write down the different guidelines for healthy pregnancy, like the different things to avoid, foods to avoid, drinks to avoid, different things like that. It has a section in here for when you can document all of your doctor's appointments and give details about things that you learn, all the different measurements and everything like that. My first appointment, the baby was measuring accurately. It was actually on my 8-week day, and oh sorry, I just kicked the camera. It was 157 beats per minute, and that's when I found out my due date. I haven't decided just yet if I'm gonna let you all know when my due date is, but it's, oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I did tell you. I told you all on Instagram. So if you aren't following, make sure you follow me on Instagram, More Life with Courtney. Next appointment was 9 weeks and 6 days. We saw legs and arms moving, and that's when the doctor gave me the list of different blood tests and scans to take throughout my pregnancy. The next appointment was 12 weeks and 4 days, but the baby was measuring 13 weeks. Baby very active, jumping. We had the negative NIPT Test results, and then it was also a good NT scan. Great pictures, and the heartbeat was 149 beats per minute. I will say, before I decided to share on social media that I was pregnant, like just something in me just needed to have a little bit more reassurance. So I scheduled a Doppler appointment, which I was just able to hear the baby's heart rate or heartbeat the day before I sent out or posted the Instagram reel and the YouTube short. I went to the doctor to make sure I could hear the heartbeat, just in case. That's just, you know, I guess the anxiety in me just wanted to make sure everything was okay. So on that day, the Doppler reading, she just said that the baby's heartbeat was in the 150, so it was good. I can show you our first sonogram, as I posted earlier, but it has a place where you can actually take the sonograms here, and then each month you're able to explain different words that describe your pregnancy, what you're nervous about, what you're excited about, things you're craving, the nickname for baby that until you know what you're having, or until you're ready to share with family and friends what's going on. It could be like a code name between you and your partner, so that way everybody won't know what's really going on. This book, I believe, is like more so of a letter to the baby. Like, it's like you're in the perspective of you talking to your baby while you're pregnant. That's another reason why I love it. It's like I'm having a conversation with my baby, like our own little secret conversation and journal with each other. It just explains a whole lot of different things, ways that you can explain things that you were feeling. And then once your baby is born, they're old enough to read. Like, it'd be a great experience for them to be able to read and see what was going on about the journey of them being born. This is a copy of, I haven't taped it just yet, but these are copies of our sonograms from that NT scan. And as I said, we didn't want to know the gender, so it's really only showing the body and the, I guess, chest up in the head. But yes, so I believe that is it that I have for you all today. I'm just grateful that I'm at this position where I'm able to share how I feel about everything with you all, from the good and the bad. And now I've overcome those negative and scared feelings, and I'm just so grateful and thankful to the Lord and to you all. I was still receiving encouragement on videos from the past, and I really truly appreciate you all. Thank you again for your patience throughout this time that I took a social media hiatus. I hope you all understand, and I'm with you until the wheels fall off. So I'm glad you all were able to receive me again, and I think I will see you all, well, I will see you all in the next video. Right now, I think what I'm gonna do is I did a poll on YouTube asking how you all felt about the schedule. So I think Sundays will be all about pregnancy and or self-care videos, and then Mondays will be about home and vlog, home decoration and vlog. So just have a good variation of different things, a variety of different things that you all have been interested, all about More Life with Courtney. Thank you all again so much for your thoughts, prayers, and views, and your support and love. If you want any other insight on what's going on, more like a day-to-day, real-time about what's going on with me, you can check me out on my Instagram page. My personal page is More Life with Courtney on Instagram and on TikTok. I try to do some things on TikTok here and there. And if you're interested in any of our home content, our home page on Instagram is Chateau de More. Same thing on TikTok. All right, you guys, thank you again so much. I love you, love you, love you all. Thank you all for your continuous support, encouragement, and motivation. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.